Okay, hi, this is Michael Ellis. We're going to be going over procedure outlined in my book, Lead into Gold, The Beginning of the Golden Age of Alchemy. And we'll be following that to its end in this first video. In the second part, we'll be doing the next half of the experiment, taking the resultant material through the distillation phase, as known by alchemists, into the completion of the Magnum Opus to the Philosopher's Stone. So I hope you enjoy these videos. They should be available on my YouTube. If not, you're probably getting this from somewhere else. So either way, I hope you enjoy, and follow the rest of my videos on YouTube, like and subscribe, and here we go. So, okay, so we're going to begin the experiment with, you're going to need a mason jar or a other heat-proof vessel to contain water, and a iron nail that is not galvanized, or other piece of iron that is not galvanized, and another piece of metal that is it can be any piece of metal, just some conductor. It doesn't even have to be metal. It can be a graphite or whatever. Just a conductor. Some salt. It can be sea salt. It can be table salt. It can be water softener salt. I'm using water softener salt, and this is copper, by the way. So it just kind of gross because I've been using it in experiments. Cold tap water or distilled water, your choice. And tape of some sort. I'm using aluminum HVAC tape. That's just what I had on hand, to secure the electrodes to the sides of the jar there. And if you find another means to do it that works better for you, have at it. You're going to need a power supply or a series of 9-volt batteries. You can do this with 9-volt batteries. Just hook them up in series, and yeah. So and you're gonna need some alligator clips. These come with the power supply, or you can get them at a electronics supply store. You can use those with the 9-volt batteries if you're doing that path. So you're gonna want to adjust it, or you're gonna want to adjust the current so it's not burning out your wires. If you have a good power supply that comes with good wires, you're not gonna have, that's not gonna be an issue. The only issue is going to be the heating of your vessel in that regard. So I generally recommend you keep it under 2 amps, just for heat issues sake. As far as the experiment goes, you want to keep it green. If it turns black or brown, that's okay. That just means that you've heated it. Well, which we're going to do at the end anyways. We're going to heat it to the black stage. But just for illustrative purposes, we're going to go to the green stage and the black stage when we're heating it, without the electrolysis going on. If you let this run overnight and it turns brown, well, that's okay. That just happens when you let it run for too long. But that stuff works just as well for the next phase of the experiment of the Magnum Opus, of our alchemical experiment. So yeah, so that without saying any more, let's get started. So once you have your setup here for, I'm just using a Dr. meter. This thing has two, that's my other thing, my signal generator. This thing has two, I don't know if you can see it. It has two whatever, voltage generators, two power sources. So we'll turn it on, and as you can see, we've got pretty good. We can turn the current up So we're gonna stay. Oh, that's all the way up. Okay, so it doesn't get too hot. Okay, there we go. So you're gonna want to turn it till your current turns off and it goes to voltage. Then you're going to turn it up just a little bit till it gets to 2 and then stop. Then you know you have a current limit of 2. So that's how you set it. Okay, and the voltage is irrelevant. That's going to change depending on your current. The main thing you want to focus on is the current. So to set the current, you turn it to the left until it goes to voltage setting. Then, and you can tell by the little LEDs here. Once it switches to voltage, you know the current is lower than your limit. So, it's being limited by voltage, not current. So, you want it limited by current. So you turn it down until it switches over to voltage. Then you turn it right, and it'll light up on the current side. That way you know you're limiting it by current, and it should go to 2 amps if you have enough salt in it, and if it's far enough along that it has enough conductivity. It might not. If it doesn't, just leave it at the low current that it's at and wait until it conducts better to set it at 2 amps, or just leave it at whatever low it is below 2 amps. It's fine, just leave it there. But if it's lighting up, that means it's limiting by current, so that's where your current is currently set at. Excuse the pun, not intended. But yeah, keep it about 2 amps. So as you can see here, we're starting to get some so I don't know what to call that, but yeah, it goes through a yellow stage for a little bit. Then it turns kind of orange on top and green, and it'll go white. And so that's where it's at right now. I'll let it run for a little bit. As you can see, you get bubbles on the negative, which is the black, and you get less bubbles on the positive. That's your that's the red. So positive, that's the one that's actually breaking down into the material. As you can see, that's actually breaking down, forming the colloid. So you got a yellow colloid right now. It's using tap water and salt. So that's pretty cool. So we'll keep running that until it turns into like I don't know, the green, which is usually what starts. So it turns yellow, then it turns a little darker to green, and we'll wait till that. I'll pause it right now and I'll come back when we're at that stage. Okay, hi, welcome back. This turned out a little bluish rather than green. I think it has to do with the presence of the copper. I usually just use 2 iron nails, so I think this has to do with the copper presence as a copper ground. So yeah, so it turned blue, but we still have the green, foam. Don't get me wrong. So I'll just take this. We still have the green ultimately at the top there. You can kind of see the green. But yeah, this took on more of a blue than a green, which isn't bad. So it's just a different size particle. So that's where we're at right now, and I will pause it until we get something more significant. Okay, we're back. Now you can really see the greenish. It still looks kind of blue. I guess that's because of the copper. It's kind of green in the shadow. I didn't Notice that. Okay. Well, yeah. So that's that. Yeah, it looks kind of green. Shadow. Yellow on top. We've got the whitish stuff in the forming in the middle. So yeah, this obviously just takes a really long time for all this stuff to kind of build up. Yeah, it's just a waiting game. It's like, go do something else, or just sit here and watch. It's kind of mesmerizing. It's nice and meditative. You get how the old alchemists just sit and watch this and make drawings and like meditate.